So moving on to our program, let me just say that we are very fortunate to have with us our next speaker direct from ORC, or One Rotary Center. She is currently the Director of Gift Planning of the Rotary Foundation. She joined the Rotary Foundation in 2004 as the first planned gift officer, and since then, she has been in the forefront of planned giving efforts. She is responsible for the cultivation and administration of the life income agreements and estate gifts to the foundation, as well as the administration and marketing of the donor advised fund. She successfully implemented the foundation's gift and estate planning program and is now leading the building of the Rotary Foundation Endowment 2025 by 2025 fundraising initiative. A Jesuit-trained lawyer who graduated with honors at the Loyola University School of Law with a degree of Juris Doctor. She also studied international legal studies in Moscow and Budapest, Hungary. A practicing litigation attorney before joining the Rotary Foundation, a past president of the Rotary Club of Evanston Lighthouse, and served as International Service Chair and Rotary Foundation Chair. A Paul Harris Fellow +4 and a Foundation Bequest Society member. Friends, let us all welcome our next speaker, the Director for Gift Planning of the Rotary Foundation, past President Karena Bierman.
Hi, everyone. I'm trying to get my screen to share here. Thank you so much for inviting me to participate in this training. I am really pleased to be here and to talk about one of my favorite subjects, the endowment. Just by show of someone, positive affirmation that you can see my endowment presentation. Perfect, thank you, June. What we're going to talk about today is the goal to reach $2.025 billion in the endowment by 2025. And as you just heard, your role is so important to making this happen. And the good thing is that you can see on the screen that we have more than $945 million in commitments from Rotarians around the world already on the commitment column. And that's people who've promised to make a gift in the future. And we have $646 million that's been contributed by people during their lifetimes. And you heard June talking about several million that have come in from your area just last year that ended up on that teal or green column. That's fantastic. Thank you for all of that work. You definitely have set the bar. And as I like to use with my team, I tell them to exceed what they did last year or explain to me what the situation was that they couldn't. So you guys can adopt that as well. Exceed or explain, no pressure, but go for it. The $646 million is invested, and that's what produces earnings that are spent on Rotary programs. So you were talking about reaching all of those record-setting goals this year, and I'm going to touch on them again in a minute, but it's really impressive, and it works towards hitting that 2025 by 2025. So, I got to try and go back one. Hang on, hold on, bear with me here, folks. I got to get to the good stuff. That's the good news. Okay, so you have the 30 new named funds that you already discussed, the 160 benefactors with the first Rotary's Promise Club in Asia, and we're going to talk a little bit about what that means. And then also the 25 Bequest Society members. When you think about hitting those record-setting goals for giving, it is about those individuals being happy and proud that they gave, but it's also about investing in the future of your region's ability to do even more to make a better world. So for every person that you see with a major donor pin or an arch plump pin or a bequest pin or a benefactor pin, think of that not just as the gift that they gave to reach that recognition, but also in the every little life that's going to be touched, whether, as your director Harmon said, whether it's the mothers and children, or the people who avoid having a disease, or the child who gets a chance at an education. What a difference your efforts make in raising these gifts. So thank you in advance. So let's get on to the training a little bit. One of the tools that we've created and we launched earlier this year is called the District Guide to Growing the Endowment. And as you can see, the contents list 13 different items that are available for you to use. Now, some of you may be very experienced with district structure or the endowment or fundraising, asking people to consider contribution. And others might be wondering if they really know enough about the endowment to do this job, or maybe they need a little help kind of solidifying their knowledge. And this guide is exactly what you need to feel really great about what you're trying to accomplish. So let's take a closer look. First of all, the guide has been customized to be used around the world. So there are different language versions and different imagery. So you should hopefully find some pieces in there that feel good for you to use. It is a simple 3-page guide. Now, if you read this guide just as it is, it's a very step-by-step introduction to how to discuss the endowment. But the real great part about it are those blue arrows. Do you see those blue arrows? If you click on the underlined words in those arrows, you are taken to a toolbox that has everything you need to learn about the endowment so that you're educating yourself, and then to find pieces that you can share about the endowment with others. So a PowerPoint for presentation, guides if people are trying to learn more about what you're talking about, advertisements that you can put in newsletters and online, lots of stuff, and then motivational tools. There are even references in here so that you can look up reports and find out how different clubs and districts are doing. So let's take an even closer look at this. One of the core programs that came out of the 2025 by 2025 goal was the launch of the Rotary's Promise Club. Many of you may know that a Rotary's Promise Club is a club where every individual has agreed to give $1,000 in an estate plan or has made a gift of $1,000 outright to support the endowment. That shows up on your reports as a benefactor, but the person could be a Bequest Society member or even a Legacy Society member. So you want to make sure that when you're talking about it, you encourage the donor to give what they want to give, not just the bare minimum. The main part of the Rotary's Promise Club is to raise awareness. So you're letting people know at the club level. So if you have a club where nobody has ever given any money to the endowment, or not very many people have, you might start at this level and get them excited about how by giving a gift now, it'll make money available to their club and to their district in the future. And then there's the Rotary, Your Rotary Legacy, where you can actually name a fund at the $25,000 level. Now, by show of hands, were any of you at the convention? And did you get to see, great, did you get to see your very own district governor and future assistant Rotary Foundation coordinator, Gina C., talk about setting up some name funds? Well, that was super exciting. She did a fantastic job and really represented your area very well. And a lot of people were enthused learning about how she set aside $25,000 in the endowment to make sure that that gift would continue providing back to her district forever. So that's what the Your Rotary Legacy gift is about. So how do we promote these things? Well, right inside the District Guide to Growing the Endowment, you have a PowerPoint presentation. Now I'm going to very delicately try and transition from this PowerPoint to that PowerPoint, just so you can see what it looks like, because this is a training after all. I want you to be familiar with what we're talking about. So hold on. Oh, no, that's not. Well, this is the guide. And you can see here that there are these links, right, where you can click on the links, okay? And there it is. There's the other PowerPoint presentation, which is available to you for you to use. You go to the district guide, you click on the link, and this is here. And it talks about how annual gifts that you give today, which most everyone already knows about, making an annual contribution to the Rotary Foundation, can be maximized by also doing an endowment gift. Some of the, when I work with individuals and I talk about the endowment, they say, well, what programs does the endowment fund? And you have to let them know that they fund the same programs that you know and love. It's the endowment fund share is almost identical to annual fund share as far as the impact it can have around the world, right? So this presentation goes through the different ways of giving. It goes through the difference between giving now and later. So this is already made and available for you to use. And you can also add your own images or add content to make it custom for your presentations. But here's the great thing is that you can also share that presentation with others so that they can present it, right? How great will they feel about you if you come to them and say, hey, I want to talk to you about giving. And oh, by the way, here are some fantastic resources you can use to share the good news about the Rotary's endowment. Okay. So what else is in here? Well, there's a Rotary's Promise Club newsletter for leaders. So when I say it's for leaders, it means that this isn't going to the donors, but it's going to you, to the club presidents, maybe to district governors. It's to get people excited about learning what the Rotary's Promise Club is. So that's available for you to use. You can either cut and paste the text and put it into your own newsletter, use the newsletter, or just refer people to learn more about it by reading the newsletter. We prepared this document because we know how important it is to have local leadership and buy-in in promoting the Rotary's Promise Club. So there's the guide that goes with it. So if you have any questions, they're in there. And if not, there's a link you can go to be put in touch with somebody on my team to answer your questions. Or Gretchen can answer most questions too, or she knows how to reach me. All right. So I'm not going to play this video today, but I hope that you have all seen the legacy, the Your Rotary Legacy video. Maybe we can share that with another link at another time. But I want to stay on task with training today. So we also have Remember Rotary advertisements. And as you can see here, these have been customized somewhat. But if you wanted to put these into a newsletter or a Facebook ad, these are available for you to use. They're in the links that you follow in the district guide. It's all in there. And then here's another newsletter. Now this one is directed at donors. So you can do a coordinated campaign under June's leadership and share this newsletter. You can send it electronically. You can take content out of it and share it piece by piece. You can post it on a Facebook page. You could even print it locally and mail it or hand deliver it to the people who you think might be interested in reading it. So it's a professionally prepared newsletter that you can use. And then, of course, this is a must-have brochure. This brochure contains the bare minimum that everybody should have when they're thinking about making a gift to the endowment. It briefly explains what an endowment does, how it works, how they can name a fund, and what recognition they'll get for different gift levels. So if you haven't seen this, then please let Gretchen know and she'll make sure that you get it. But this is definitely something worth having on your person when you're talking to people. And then the Know Your Enduring Impact is a new piece that just came out, and it easily explains the importance of when you name a fund in the endowment, or what you can do if you're not interested in naming a fund and when you're just making a gift to the endowment. This one is hot off the presses, so I hope you enjoy reading it and also using it. This is definitely a piece that you would have if you were talking to someone about a gift of $25,000 or more. And then another thing that I hear all the time is the levels of recognition are too complicated. I don't know what they are. I don't know how to find them. Well, this piece here that's linked in the district guide to growing the endowment has all of the recognition that's available if you make a gift to the endowment in one page. Really easy to use. And it makes it simple when working with donors that you can even leave this behind. It's formatted, it's lovely, it's a guide, but it's definitely something that they could think about if they wanted to level up their gift or make, decide what level they want to make their gift. Okay. And then a notification card. My favorite, if you want to make things paperless, is this rotary.org/yourlegacy. The individual can go there and complete the information themselves, and it's digitally sent for processing. Or you can work with them to go through it and send it in. But all of these questions that are on this page are also answered in this survey that they prepare. So it's quick and easy, and we're receiving millions of dollars of commitments being recorded through that service. So people do like using it. And then the district guide to growing the endowment is a resource that you're going to go back to the same site, rotary.org/share-forever. And as things are updated there, we'll send out a notice saying, hey, it's been updated, but you can always go there to use the materials. And if it's been updated, you'll know. But we're working on an endowment fund share graphic because people are somewhat confused how endowment fund share compares with annual fund share. So we're working on a graphic to explain that. And then, as I mentioned before, we have the video that we've been using for several years, which introduces people to the concept of what is an endowment. And now we're coming out with a companion video to go with that, that explains how you can move from the idea of, okay, I know what an endowment is, but I want to know how I can make a gift. Okay. Some people want to know why we chose the name Share Forever. As you know, your gifts to annual fund share make a difference in people's lives today. By giving a gift to the endowment, you are actually sharing forever. And so it's a simple way to understand why we have the endowment. So now in your role as a leader for your district, you might want to look at where you fit in the bigger picture. So I have a drawing of that because I like drawings and I think they're helpful. Here we have the trustees, the endowment major gift advisors like June and professional staff, working with everyone to try and train people on how to use the district guide that I just went through, the core pieces. What you're going to do with your fellow district leaders, and it sounds like it's pretty established in your area that this will be something for you to do. Not every area is as advanced in their structure as you are, and you should be super thankful for that. Thank you, June, and your predecessors for setting up such a great system. But your goal is to raise awareness of the endowment by presenting these resources, sharing the content from the district guide, and inspiring clubs and Rotary members to set actions and goals, right? You will also talk about gifts, people making gifts, but in order to have people who want to make gifts today, somebody else had to have spoken to them in the past about why supporting the foundation and the endowment was important. So you're going to play that dual role of helping to educate and inspire. And then when you talk to club presidents and foundation chairs and fundraising team members, they can then take it back to their clubs and start sharing these resources and getting people inspired about how to support the endowment. In my last minute here, I have a few instructions that you can follow if you would like. The first one is to please familiarize yourself with the district guide to growing the endowment materials. There's educational materials, the endowment fund financial report that everybody that's doing this job should have at least read it and know what's in it. The materials, the advertising materials, the program materials, and then how the next steps can make a difference. I see here we have encouraged district governors to appoint endowment major gift subcommittee chairs. Well, I can just strike that from the list, can't I, June? Congratulations to you all for having already done that. And then encourage each district to host an annual presentation on Rotary's endowment. So whether that it's at a district conference or another learning assembly of some kind, but if every district can present at least one time on Rotary's endowment in a public setting, you're going to move everybody's awareness forward. And then, as I just mentioned, check back to Rotary.org Share Forever frequently for updates and new useful materials. Even I have it bookmarked on my desktop so that I can refer back to it. And I know when all the updates are going in, but I still like just using it right from there, so I know I have the most recent stuff. So for you, again, Share Forever, Rotary.org Legacy is a great website as well. Now this website, Rotary.org Legacy, is donor focused. So Share Forever is more for district leaders, and Rotary.org Legacy is if somebody says, I don't know anything about the endowment, how can I learn more? You can send them there. And then if you have questions, you can reach out to Gretchen or directly to me at plangiving@rotary.org. I hope I'm on time. June, are we good? Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I can either take a few questions right now or we can hold them until later. What would you prefer?
Later.
Okay, great. Oh, I'll try and stop sharing so somebody else can share. And I look forward to hearing your questions.
Okay. Thank you so much, Director Karena, for that very informative and enlightening presentation.